because today we're going to be talking about magnetism, which is something that is really exciting to me. The frequency of wealth. What the heck is wealth? How do we get some of it? How can we work together to leverage this without feeling burnt out? A lot of projectors in the house. And feeling like we are running in circles, changing jobs. There's a lot of people who've been like, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, and we've changed jobs, but we end up in the same cycle of burnout with a different view. So you're probably here because you're tired of working dollar for hour as your only income stream. Give me a heart if you feel that one. You feel like you're running in circles trying to get ahead financially. It's like this rat race of always trying to make more money, fill your bank account, pay your bills. Everything's getting more expensive. We all know that. You're seeking connection, community, and growing in your business with other like-minded women. I'm here for that. And you're ready to try something new to generate the wealth you desire. And you're open to working with energy, frequency, and healing as a mode of manifestation. Does everybody feel like maybe that's how we ended up here, looking for some of those things? Because that's what really drew me here. This is newer territory for me to be teaching on. And I wanted to do this to A, push myself out of my comfort zone, B, show you how absolutely very possible that you could be sitting here doing this very same thing in 3 months, in a month, however fast you want to, really. And why it's so important for us to be at this moment in time passing along the wealth of information to each other instead of hoarding it so that we can all win. So that's why I'm here. I'm stretching myself into this space as a challenge to experience the very things that I say that I want. So before we get started, I want to drop us into this place of deep inherent power and limitless possibility within our body. We're going to be talking about energy, frequency, mindset, magnetism today, and it's really important for us to feel connected in our bodies in that place that we are drawing that towards us from. So we're going to do a quick practice. If you're driving, you can verbalize what we're doing, but maybe keep your eyes open. Keep your hands on the wheel, 10 and 2. So just begin to bring your energy to your physical self. You can do this by closing your eyes. You can slightly have them open. If you're driving, just find something to focus on and just fix your gaze ahead of you so that you are present and aware. Place your hands right underneath your rib cage, above your belly button, on your solar plexus, your Manipura chakra. Take a deep breath into that space. Feel your belly push out your hands. Fill up as much as you can, and then exhale. Squeeze out any residual energy, air from that space like you are squeezing a rag. Take 2 more deep breaths just like that. Really feel your hands, feel the warmth. Feel yourself expand, create space. And exhale, squeeze everything out. 1 more. And just rest naturally, breathe in that space of personal power, limitless possibilities, the feeling inside of your body that is giving you an urge and a nudge to get outside of your comfort zone, try something new, expand your belief of what's possible for you, your life, your sovereignty, the spaces that you can be in, the money that you can make, stretching all of that out further than maybe it's comfortable. And when I say further than maybe when it's comfortable, what I mean by that is your mind might start to create almost immediately sometimes a reminder that that's not for you. You're not worthy of that. Other people can do it, but I don't know that I can. It sounds really good in theory, but I don't know, it's going to be really hard. The mind likes to do that when we start to be in our personal power. So what we're going to do is we're going to vibrate the frequency of our Manipura chakra, our solar plexus, our pure center, our solar space, our sun, that powerful energy that drives us and keeps us going. We're going to extend that out into the universe, and then we're going to draw it back deeply within ourselves. So we're going to say, I'm peaceful in my power 3 times out loud. Then we're going to whisper it 3 times, and then we're going to say it silently 3 times. We'll do this all together. And then after we say it silently 3 times, you're going to put your arms up and take up just as much space as you possibly can. Okay, we'll go now. I'm peaceful in my power. I am peaceful in my power. I am peaceful in my power. And whisper, I am peaceful in my power. I'm peaceful in my power. I'm peaceful in my power. And then silently with yourself. Stretch your arms out. Lift up your head. Stretch out your legs. Feel the nerves turn on in your armpit as you create space around your heart. Push your hands away as far as you can, reaching out. Feel the energy move from your heart space, from your solar plexus, out your hands, into the universe. Saying to the universe and letting it mirror back to you limitless possibilities, that you're peaceful in your power. I'm peaceful in my power. Nothing can shake me. And I'm right here, fully present. And then draw your energy back close to yourself. Breathe naturally and come back into the room. How's everybody feel after that? It always makes me feel really tingly and powerful and strong. And it's so crazy when we say things out loud and then we bring them into a quiet space inside of our body and whisper it to ourselves, because it almost feels louder when we're whispering it inside of ourselves. Goosebumps. Great. That's what we want. So now that we're here, a little bit about me if we haven't met yet. Some of you I know that I've met and seen for a long time. I'm Kelly Mason. I'm a hairdresser of 17 years. I'm an intuitive devoted to nature. I like to play with the frequency of nature and the cycles of the seasons. And I'm a Capricorn sun, so I like to create systems and structures. That's my playground. I'm a student of astrology and yoga. I like to host retreats. I'm a mom, a wife. Those are my kids and my husband. And I'm a catalyst for personal power activation. I love to take the knowledge I've gained from in-person service experience, because that's been a huge part of my background and teaching skills as an educator, and apply them to my deeper passions of helping people break free of their limitations and create energetic systems to support their dreams, which is why we're here today. So a little bit about my money story. These are some pictures of me. Up here, you can see me with like 350 beauty school students, and I got to be up on stage talking to them about personal power and following their dreams, and do a meditation. It was really fun. I was nominated for some awards. I used to go on stage and do New York Fashion Week and all of these things and work behind the chair. That's Taylor Hill. She's a Victoria's Secret model. Like I was doing a lot of stuff, but I kept thinking, if I do more, I'm going to make more money. The more I do, the more I'll make. And I also had this story that once I get to the next level, I'm going to finally be free. Once I show everybody how good I am at everything. And once I get to this higher level of work and prove it to everybody, I'm going to be free and I feel really good. And I had a story that I have to prove myself worthy and build my business all on my own. So all of these things, I felt so lonely. I felt so alone trying to get to the top and compete and try to prove myself. But on the outside, it looked pretty great. It looked like, oh my gosh, look how much you're doing. But the truth was, my nervous system was so depleted. That's me like passed out after doing a show. I was so tired. I was always trying so hard to make money and get to the next level, get to the next place. So it didn't quite work out for me. And I went from doing hair $1 per hour to doing healing and coaching $1 per hour because I started to be like, I want to help people in a different way, but I was still doing $1 per hour. And then I went from teaching workshops for a lump sum. So I would go teach a workshop, put all this time, all this energy, teach these big workshops, make some money. And then I'd have to start the whole process over again. And then I started doing it on bigger scales when I would do retreats. And so I'd make money. And then I was this vicious cycle of always trying to keep up and get back into a flow. Both of these models left me feeling super depleted. Does anybody relate to this? Has this been part of your story? Yeah. It's so crazy because it's a lot of our stories. But we're going to change that. I've been feeling like a yo-yo, just like always trying to keep up. It's just like run. I wasn't even ever present, even though I thought I was. I thought I was doing all these really present things, but I was actually always living in the future, worried about what I was going to do next. Even though I knew my mission was to help people, I wasn't helping myself. You can see I was like, it was not good. I was very tired. So once I changed my story about what was possible, that I had to prove myself, that I needed to work really hard, I had to do it all by myself, my frequency of possibility completely changed. And now I'm creating a beautiful passive stream of income through magnetism, which is something you all were interested in, not desperation, not seeking and clawing and trying to make things happen. I feel really confident in my power, my purpose, and the potential that I have. And I'm collaborating in community with incredible women across the world. Some of them are on this call right now. And the more I am in alignment with this story and this truth and this possibility, I keep getting deeper and deeper connection with my intuition, my health than ever before. I get to play when I'm working one-on-one instead of having to rely solely on it to fuel my life. And I'm making money while I sleep. How does that sound to everybody? It's kind of nice. Yeah, it's pretty great. And I know that this is possible for you too, because it happened like that for me. And there's very, very simple things that we can do to shift into this possibility. So first, let's understand what wealth is, because I think that we go on this journey of work and seeking. And how many of you would associate yourself with a high achiever, where you work pretty hard and you're like, I want to do good. I want to push myself. I want to make more. And we think that that's going to make us wealthy. But really what it does is makes us depleted. So I started trying to figure out, well, what is wealth? And all these people talking about wealth, what is it? We need to understand what it is in order to have it. And wealth is this, these are just some definitions that I found: plentiful supplies of a particular resource, an abundance of valuable possessions or money. So I started asking myself, what resources do I value? What resources do I want? Because that's going to define what my wealth experience is. The resources that I value are time, health, money, presence, and I would even say specifically time with my family, more time with my family. So I want you to drop over in the chat what resources do you value? Because this helps us to understand what it is that the frequency that we're associating with wealth. Because if we only associate wealth with money, we're going to be chasing money. So drop over in the chat, what resources do you value the most? Same. Presence, freedom, safety, security, connection with my loved ones, freedom, adventure, leading others to healing. And right now, or in the past with your work, do you feel like you were able to have all of those things? Do you feel like those were things associated with what you've been doing in your life? Yes or no? We can just put yes or no. Inconsistent. Same. Sometimes. Okay. No. So what we're wanting is to get into this mentality of wealth and being able to have all of these resources and put these resources in our presence so that we are able to pass that along to other people. So what is a high frequency passive stream of income? What could that look like? A business in which systems of automation allow transactions and cash flow and growth to happen without requiring real-time presence. You set in place energetic systems, this is my favorite part, and structures that create a magnetic pull towards what you have to offer. In other words, we don't have to trade time for money. We leverage our energy, time, and experience in devotion and consistency until the money generates itself. That's what I believe is a high frequency passive stream of income, meaning that this is giving us the wealth aspect as well. We are receiving the wealth transmission as well as this operational system that's happening. And I believe that this comes from the thing behind the thing, right? Anybody can set a system in place and just funnel through a system. And then there's other people who seem to be floating on a cloud and life is just happening for them. For example, this morning I was driving my kids to school and we got there a little early, so they wanted to go get some breakfast. Well, I'm in my robe and my hair is like up in a thing. And we're ordering a scone and a bagel, and I order it and I'm driving up to the window to pay, and I realize I didn't bring my wallet because I didn't think I was going to buy them this stuff. I thought I was just going to school. And instead of this mentality of I don't have money, I don't have the resources, I don't have it, I said to the kids, there's money in this car. And they were like, Mom, you're going to have to tell them we can't buy that. And I'm like, no, there's money in this car. I am scouring, but the whole time I'm looking, all right? I'm looking, and I'm not thinking there's no money here. There's no money here. This isn't going to work out. There's no way it's here. It was $6.97 for the bagel and the scone. I'm in my mom's car too. I'm borrowing my mom's car. So it's not even my car. And I open up the glove box and I'm like flicking through it. And there's a plastic bag with 3 Tide Pods, like that go in the laundry detergent, 5 $1 bills, and 8 quarters. There was $7 in this bag for me to pay for the things that I needed. I got 3 cents back. So that just happened today, and I wanted to share it because that is the alignment that I was in. I believed it and I felt it in my body that this is a possibility. It's not impossible. Even when people were doubting that it was possible, I remained in the coherence of possibility, in the frequency of possibility, and I received. That's magnetism. That's magical manifestation. Some people might want to be like, well, it was always there. It's just a coincidence. Well, then I'm driving down the street and the Speedway sign says, save 3 cents per gallon if you get a Speedway card. And I received 3 cents back. I received 3 cents back. So the universe is always showing us that anything is possible. We just have to access what is it that we really want? What do we value? What are the things that we want to be in alignment with? So that's why it's really important to say, what resources do you want to have? Time, freedom, abundance, travel, all these things. So important to know that that's what we believe is what we are wanting to be in the energy with. Isn't that funny? I just thought it was so funny. Okay. So the frequency of what? How do we access it? This is really important. If you want something you've never had, you've got to do something that you've never done. As we are talking about before, all of the things that we've done in our jobs, we've done that before. We've tried it. And I'm not saying throw it all out the window, but we need to try different kinds of things in order to experience something new. Everything in the universe operates on a frequency, including money, right? And that's why I like to share that story about the scones and the $7, because I was in the frequency of money. I was in the frequency of possibility, and it found me. It came right to me when I needed it, when I wanted it. So if you want to understand how to earn or attract more money, it helps to think in the terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, because that is what it is. Money means absolutely nothing except what we assign to it, but it's an energetic, it has an energetic frequency. It has an energetic blueprint. And so once we know that and we assign what we believe it means, we can bring it to us more clearly. Okay, so the higher frequency of wealth. The body is an electrical unit. I was listening to somebody talk about this the other day, and they were talking about how we've been feeding our bodies with all this biochemical things for so long, pharmaceuticals, all this stuff for healing and for bringing our bodies into perfect harmony. But the body is an electrical circuit. And so that's why we need to remember that we're working on this operation system of frequency and vibration. That's what our bodies are. That's what we are resonant with in the world and the environment that we're in. So these are 3 ways that have been working really well in being in this higher frequency of wealth, where we're trying something different. We're not working in the same models that we have been before of all on our own, pioneering, pushing through, going hard, passing out on the floor because our nervous system is depleted. Okay. It's not that glamorous. So the number one thing is collaboration. Sharing ideas, passing along duplicatable systems to see everybody win. Hoarding mentality is lack mentality. Hoarding mentality is lack frequency. That's why I think that we get into these cycles of trying different things in different scenarios, but it never really connects because we're always holding something back. Somebody might take my good idea. Somebody might, I need to charge a whole bunch for people to come to this thing. In this kind of a business model where it's circular wealth, where we are working in this passive way, we're sharing everything. We're just giving it away because we want everybody to win that is in our community. And the community co-creation aspect, more voices, more energy, more amplification. Just like we did this practice at the beginning, I'm peaceful in my power. And we do this all together. our little unit that we're now quantumly entangled with is vibrating that out and bringing more to us as a collective group. So the era of the lone wolf is over. The era of the lone wolf is over, doing everything on your own, trying to have the best idea and nobody else can have it, and, you know, hoarding all of this stuff. And now it's more about community co-creation, where we are getting on the same page, we're sharing in this network. And the consistency of devotion. Okay, this one is huge, because when we think of passive income, we think, at least I used to think, I'm just going to get money and I'm going to sign up for something and money's just going to show up. But that's not necessarily the case. It's a devotional investment to leverage your time and your energy and your unique skill sets, just like we said at the beginning, all of the amazing skills that all of us have from all different backgrounds. We're going to take those and we're going to dissect what are the skills that we have and what are the unique things that are going to make us stand out when we are connecting with others, when we're building our own communities, when we are collaborating with other people. What do we have in common? And what is my passion? And where is my place? And who am I? So we're leveraging that time and energy for a period of time, because there's growing pains when we try something new, right? It's like, oh my God, I'm going to try this. And this is so weird. And then maybe you get shut down and somebody says no, or your plan doesn't go as exactly the way you imagined. We have to kind of keep trying and keep trying. And so there's a growing pains aspect of being in a beginner's mindset and not getting discouraged when we first try. So this is devotion, because if we remember the resources that we want to have that create wealth for us, it's easy to be in devotion to your business. It's easy to be in devotion to growth, because you know that when you continually keep looking, just like I was looking for this money in the car, it's going to yield results. It's going to yield a high frequency of wealth. It's going to give you so much and more, because you are sending that vibration. Everything is just vibration and frequency. If we just can start thinking about it in that way, it's like, the more devoted you are to receiving these resources, the more they're going to come to you. So that is the hump. And that's why it's important to maintain our nervous system in a really grounded place. So the thing that has helped me the most is working with Healy, the quantum microcurrent frequency technology, showing me my blind spots and being my secret weapon of holding down my energetic grid, keeping myself in coherence on an energetic level so that I can become magnetic and attract exactly the people who are on the same page. Everyone who's here right now, we're interested in a very similar life. We're interested in the similar freedoms. We're interested in health and wellness and abundance and time liberation. So a little bit about Healy. It's an individual microcurrent frequency device. It looks like this, if you haven't ever seen it before. And it emits certain frequency recipes into your field that are going to help you stay in that coherent space of what it is that you really want to attract in your wealth story. It works on a cellular level through a quantum sensor. So it's sending those frequencies in and through your bioenergetic field. So it's working on your spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical space to bring all of your cells into perfect harmony. It can also scan your bioenergetic field. So if you are feeling like you are stuck in a loop of your job, maybe you've tried doing different kinds of work before and you keep ending up in the same situation with a different view. It can read our bioenergetic field and tell us where we're out of coherence. Where are we not in alignment with what we say we want? And it suggests frequencies to bring us into coherence in that space in our unique blueprint. It's pretty cool. There's so many ways you can apply this to your business, your emotional self-care, manifestation. And this is what has been my secret weapon of creating passive income. It is very cool. And I can talk way deeper on this, but I want to keep it really focused today on wealth and getting us really into the place of why we're ready for change, why we're ready for something different. So Healy, why now? Why is this important? Why is frequency important? Why is the frequency of wealth important? Because it puts the power of healing back into the people's hands, the limitless potential back into the people's hands. It's a nourishing and co-creative business model that will expand you way more than you ever thought possible simply by being in this community. And somebody said this the other day, and I thought it was really, really powerful. Working with Healy now is like buying Bitcoin when it was $5. Everybody in the future is going to be using frequency for healing. That is the trajectory we're on. That is the trajectory that was laid out by Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla. They all were onto this. They knew that the future of healing was in frequency vibration. And we are here and it is accessible. And this is the cutting edge right now. There's supportive systems in place to nourish you and break free of the dollar per hour business model through sharing, connection, co-creation, collaboration, and community. Sharing your unique gifts. It's so powerful. So when we're coherent and we feel confident to leverage our time and our energy and our unique gifts, these are the rules for magnetism, because we need to break free of the self-doubt and access our limitless potential. So number one, in the rules of magnetism, you have to be seen. You have to be seen. In order to be magnetic and generate the wealth and the passive income that you're looking for, you can't hide and just hope and pray. It's one part active and one part passive. So it's allowing and receiving, but also putting in aligned effort. And this looks like sharing your story. That's it. And we started to build that out at the very beginning because we all have a story. We all have a story of where we were, what were some great things that happened, what are struggles that happened within whatever we had been doing, and what has filled your life with some alignment. For me, it's been working with Healy. It brought me into a coherent space that I didn't realize I wasn't in. And it showed me something new that I hadn't seen before. So when we share our story, we're meeting other people who are probably resonant at that same space, which is how we all gathered here today, is that we're all in a similar frequency and we're all looking for a certain thing. So that is the first step in how to magnetize the people that you want to work with and the people you want to play with, people you want to make money with. Number two is being really curious and asking questions. If we are always talking and we're always just giving information, it doesn't leave any space for us to ask questions. So we need to get really curious about what other people might be looking for, what other people's struggles are. So many of you at the beginning of this call said you want to help people. You want to help people find their confidence or their voice or their power, see their potential. And when we start asking really curious questions and really, really good questions, we can start to provide solutions. Number three is working inside a model in the devotion of consistency. So there's certain things when you're working with a passive stream of income, with a passive strategy like this, is that you have to be really consistent. Inconsistency is going to yield resistance from the outside, because there's a certain level of trust that comes when you are consistently sharing either a message, consistently sharing information, consistently being present and available. And so when we're working inside this kind of a model, as opposed to the dollar for hour model, there's certain things that are very strategic and simple. You're going to share information. You're going to ask questions. You have to be seen. First of all, ask questions. You're going to move those people through tools that are provided. So you're going to move them through how they can actually make the change, or how they can actually get to what they're wanting to get to. Okay. And you're going to show them the possibility. You're going to show them possibility, because we're walking the talk. That's really it. It's a duplication of, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to share this information with you so that you can do it too. That's the process. So you're just going to move people through a streamlined process. So this for me has looked like learning from people within my network, learning from people within my communities in this co-creative environment, and then adding my unique gifts to it, because I want to magnetize people to my community who are going to be interested in me, not necessarily a product, not necessarily something I'm selling. I want them to be interested in resonate with me and the things that I value and the resources that I want to have, because I'm going to be able to help those people a lot more efficiently if they're in alignment. How does that feel to everybody? So do a little check-in. Let me know, give me a 1 if you're like, okay, this sounds really good. I like it. Yes, same. Okay, cool. So I work with the frequency of the seasons. I'm an astrologer. I love codes and messages, and something that really has made sense to me is the frequency of the 4 elements and how that supports us. And everything in the universe is always mirroring back to us, right? Like the 3 cents. The 3 cents on the sign was mirroring back to me and saying, yes, you're on the right path. Yes, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Yes, 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 yes. And once we're coherent and we're present and we can see it, we're able to understand how to do that again and again. And I believe that the 4 elements show us exactly what to do. Bunch of 1s, cool, love it. And these are the 4 elements in the frequency, because everything is frequency, everything is vibration. It's so cool. And nature is showing us exactly what we need to do. So these are the 4 foundational things that really have to exist. The element of air, we have to develop confidence in our communication and connection. We have to access information and use logic. Okay. We can look at spring. We can look at the nature during that time. It is divinely intelligent, and it is automatically communicating with the entire network of the ecology on what needs to happen next, right? The trees are talking to the flowers, and the bees, and everything's just all at once, just happening seamlessly to emerge, because the communication is so clear. When we clear our communication, and this comes from being present, right? You're not in your head going, I don't know, and this and that. I don't have enough information yet. I'm not sure if I do the things. And we just slow down enough to know that we know exactly what we need to say. We know exactly what we need to do. And it becomes a lot more clear. The element of fire. This is the active part of magnetism and drawing all of this to you, is that we have to have a little momentum. We have to tap into our solar plexus. We have to activate our fire. We need to be playing with our creativity and our personal power. And we have to have a motive. We have to have a motive. What's driving you to do this? So maybe you want to write this down, or maybe you want to write it right now. What's going to happen if I don't make a change in the way that I'm making money? What's going to happen if I don't do something different? For me, I would just imagine myself 10 years from now doing the same thing I was doing, and I was even tired thinking about it. I was exhausted thinking about it. And even though there was things about it I loved, it made me feel so suppressed and like there was no exit strategy. And that gave me motive, and then gave me courage, and then gave me the transmutation. So it's like this trickle effect of once we tap into, it all starts to just unfold for us. But we need to know our why. Why is this something that needs to change? The element of earth, this gives us our structure. This gives us our systems. And it allows us to move our energy once we're clear and coherent. We know what we want. We know who we want to talk to. We know what we want to do. We know what is going to happen next. We're able to move that energy through a structure. And water. This is our intuition, right? When you are playing in this field of possibility and you're in the quantum field, just like networking and communicating and co-creating and collaborating, you need to be able to tap into your intuition and your emotions and be really inward so you can read energy, because it's going to be a lot of playing with energy to create these systems so that they can flow. Okay, so that is all I have for right now. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to open this up for a couple of questions, and then I wanted to ask Katya to come on for a couple of minutes and share a little bit about her experience with making some of these shifts, because we've been on a really similar journey. But I wanted to open this up to questions. So if you have a question, just go ahead and unmute yourself and you can share or ask. Anybody?
Hey, Kelly, I have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead. Hi, Sherry.
Hey, so I think all of this is like, it's so resonant and so awesome. And the one thing that I, I guess that I would say I struggle with a little bit is, what if you're not really at that point? How do you share with people like as if you are at that point, or is that even what you should be doing? Does that make sense? Like
What
if you're not
point?
at the point where, like, if you're trying to create this story where you're telling people like, I used to hustle and now I don't and money comes to me, but what if you're not there yet?
So you feel like you are not in the place of, like, you're not out of the hustle, you're not out of the old story.
Yeah, like it's that building point, right? Like I can feel the shifting, I can feel the changing. Um, but it's almost like I have to connect to somebody else's experience and story, because I'm not making, and I'm not saying I have to be a millionaire to embody the experience, but my
Mhm.
embodied experience is I'm not that much farther along on the path, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Okay, this is a great question. Thank you so much for asking that, Sherry. Um, I'm seeing some other people saying that's exactly where I'm at too. When we're working with the energetics of magnetism, frequency, manifestation, we're going to bring into our field what level we are or what space we're sharing at. So this is what I would say to that. You don't have to be somewhere someone else is. You are where you are, but be confident and present and proud of wherever it is you are on your journey. Because if you share, either you lie and you're like, I'm here and I'm not there. you're going to attract in that energy to your field of people who are also maybe insecure or wanting to hide or wanting to put on masks and not be honest with themselves. But if you share, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm at, this is the path I'm on, these are some things that I've seen change, and you keep like sharing from that place of like unattachment to you should be anywhere else than where you are, the consistency piece will carry you forward, and it will start to shift. It will start to become a different story. Does that make sense? Because we can't story our way out of a story. We have to shift out of the story. And that comes from putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation over and over again until it feels fun, or it feels enjoyable, or it feels like something shifts. And I always think about it this way. I'm like, no person who I look up to or I've ever seen be like doing amazing things where I'm like, wow, they really did that. Where they like, I'm not there yet, so I'm going to wait until I'm there until I can actually shine or be worthy or share. So does that answer your question? I would just own where you are and just let that story keep shifting into who you are becoming with it. And you will attract people who are also interested in doing that. They'll see your courage and your bravery to be on your path instead of trying to pretend like you're not, or be anything less than where you are. Does that make sense? Cool. Awesome. Does anybody else have any questions? That was a great question. And I think we can all relate to that. Like, I imagine myself where I want to be in a couple of years and what I want my life to be like. And I'm in a different phase right now than I will be then. And I'll probably be talking to different people at that point, or people will all be moving together in that sense. Cool. Love it. Okay, Katya, can I unmute you? Can you come on for a minute?
Yes.
Okay. Hi.
Hello. Go ahead.
I wanted Katya to come on because I have been watching her journey and her shifts, and I was just with her recently, and the energy and enthusiasm and all of these things that are these frequencies supporting us, I'm watching Katya be in. So I wanted her to just say a little bit about your experience in trying new things and taking a leap of faith and diving into new modes of wealth than you had experienced before.
Well, first, want to thank you for, having me here, giving me the opportunity to share my story. And I want to say to Sherry, come as you are. Come as you are, in knowing consciously of that. And this is where Healy has helped me get clear. I went through a divorce. I'm still going through it, waiting for it to be final. But deeply in my heart, I consistently ask myself, who do you need to be to live in the reality that you want? Who do you need to be? And are you aligned to those frequencies and vibrations? One good book that I love is by Joe Dispenza, and that was what made me decide to buy Healy. And it was how to break the habit of being yourself. And it resonated with me because I'm like, what am I not seeing? What is it that I am missing? And when I started working with Healy, it came so clear. It was high definition. And now, a year forward, I am in a position where I am making a lot of money, doing what I love, but I'm tired. And it's very inconsistent. I love connecting with the people, but because of my natural ways, I sometimes take on their pain. And another thing that Healy helped me with was becoming very conscious in the parts that I played to live in that reality, and that set me free. Just sitting with the uncomfortable questions of how did I contribute to this reality, and just sitting there and again just kind of birthing the answer through the uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. Giving birth to a child is so uncomfortable, and that's how I see it. It's like embrace the uncomfortable, and then the answer, you will walk the answer as you move forward. So I don't know if any of that made sense, but that's where I'm at. I am so at peace with my reality, and I'm hopeful, and my mind is just like so filled with possibilities, and I'm happy where I am in the midst of a divorce, in the midst of uplifting my entire everything, where people connect a story of victim. I am taking charge and doing something about it instead of dwelling on the sub story that came from my experience.
Thank you for sharing that, Katya. One thing that I really love that you have said, and I think we could all relate to this, is how did I contribute to this reality? And I think radical ownership of our participation in our experience is so important. Not to place blame on ourselves or feel ashamed, but to realize, where is the pattern that I'm not seeing that I need to shift? Where is there an inconsistency with what I say I want and what I have? And I think that is a really, really powerful message, and a really powerful remembrance when we're in this process of trying something different and trying to be in a different relationship with money, with our experience, with our community, with our trajectory, any of those things. Having is evidence of wanting. Some part of you wanted that reality. Yeah, I think that's part of our path, right? This could go a whole other direction, but that is part of our path, is so that we can see those things where we need to surrender more deeply, or we need to clean up or become more coherent in different places. Beautiful. Well, I wanted to share this as well. If there's some new people on here who maybe you haven't played with the heel yet, or maybe this has sparked your interest and you're really interested in trying a new way of building wealth, working, making money, creating a passive income, working with frequency, helping people, all the things we've been saying today. The Healy is, for the next 11 days, 45% off. And they just announced that if you opt into either the Pro or the Resonance Plus, you get a free gold model. So you get 2 Heelys for buying one, which is so cool, especially as so many facilitators are here, coaches, people who are working with other people in person as part of your work, to be able to have this as a tool to use with other people and then have one for ourselves is a really powerful, really, really cool incentive. So if there's some of you who are on here also who are already in this world and are sharing, this is a great way to share with people who you might be interested in playing in this field. It's such a nourishing space to be in, and such a beautiful frequency to play with, helping other people and putting these tools into people's hands and accessing this higher frequency of wealth that is so available, so possible, and is just now getting off the ground. So if you're interested, reach out to me if you came here with me. If somebody invited you here, reach out to them and talk about what this possibility could look like for you, what this opportunity could look like for you, and any other questions that you have about this amazing, amazing new world of wealth and frequency and sisterhood and connection. I'm so here for it. I'm so glad that you all came. And we'll do many more like this, but yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask and please feel free to reach out.